Hey, good morning, folks. Check it out. So I really have months ago I told people, be on the lookout for the tokenization of real world assets and wait for that to be, what how are those going to be applied on, like what does it need for those things to be applied onto these payment railways, these networks or ledgers, in order to give those native tokens more value. And so here's what I've been I've been waiting for these things to start to happen. Well, look at when the Ethereum virtual machine compatible smart contracts sidechain mainnet was launched on the XRPL, giving it the EVM compatibility, the smart contract functionality, and programmability to adopt the RWA tokenized assets onto or embed them into a specific railway. So check this out, folks. Okay, so here's what it breaks down to. The smart contracts are indispensable for real world assets and RWAs. Tokenization because they automate and enforce the rules governing ownership, transfer, and management of tokenized assets without relying on intermediaries. Tokenization involves representing physical or traditional assets like real estate, physical or commodities, or art as digital tokens on a blockchain, ensuring fractional ownership, liquidity, and transparency. Without smart contract capabilities, tokenization would lack programmability, making it impossible to embed conditions such as automated dividend distributions, compliance checks for regulatory requirements, e.g., KYC and AML requirements, or redemption mechanisms for underlying assets. The direct necessity stems from the need for trustless execution. Smart contract acts as self-executing code that verifies transactions immutably on the ledger, reducing fraud risk and operational costs while enabling seamless integration with decentralized finance, DeFi protocols. For instance, platforms like Ethereum or Polygon leverage smart contracts to tokenize assets, ensuring the token holders have enforceable rights tied to the real-world value, which is for scalability and global accessibility. Okay. Furthermore, compatibility and implementation of RWA tokenization on a ledger or payment railways heavily depend on smart contract functionality to bridge traditional finance with blockchain ecosystems. Blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, or Layer 2 solutions providing the underlying ledgers where smart contract deploy tokenized assets, ensuring interoperability through standards such as ERC20 for fungible tokens or ERC721 for non-fungible ones. Payment railways, including stablecoin networks or cross-chain bridges, require smart contracts to facilitate atomic swaps, collateralization, and settlement, allowing tokenized RWAs to be used in payments or loans without off-chain conversions. Implementation involves deploying contracts that handle minting, burning, and updating token metadata in response to real-world events, often integrated with oracles for off-chain data feeds, e.g. asset valuations. This setup ensures regulatory compliance and reduces settlement times from days to seconds, making RWAs viable for institutional adoption on platforms like tokenized security exchanges. Now, the integration of smart contracts and RWA tokenization directly enhances tokenized value and price stability by fostering liquidity. Okay? Let me read that again for you folks here because I want you to understand this. The integration of smart contracts and RWA tokenization directly enhances token value and price stability by fostering liquidity, reducing volatility, and attracting institutional capital. By enabling automated yield generation such as interest accrual on tokenized bonds or rental income from real estate, smart contracts create intrinsic value streams that stabilize prices against market fluctuations. As tokens reflect predictable cash flows from underlying assets, moreover, programmability allows for built-in stabilizers like dynamic supply adjustments or hedging mechanisms, minimizing speculative bubbles. This results in increased investor confidence, broader market participation, and higher valuations, as seen in projects like centrifuge, or realty, where tokenized assets maintain stability through enforceable contracts, ultimately driving premium pricing due to reduced counterparty risk and enhanced utility in global financial rails. Basically, the more value you're putting on those railways, the more valuable they're going to be, and the more value you're going to give to the native tokens that are ran on those railways to settle and transact money on, and remittance payments and whatnot. And it's also going to cause when you put a lot more value on a railway, the value is going to stay there as long as those, as long as the added liquidity, capital is there, the value is going to stay there. You add more value, more capital, more valuation, and enhanced price discovery. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you're following this. I know it might be analysis paralysis for some, but DM me if you got any questions, and let's continue. The tokenization company, Hedera Hashgraph, Ripple Extra, come on, guys. Down here, XDC Network. Not financial advice.